Alright, welcome back to Monster Hunter World. Alright, today we're going to be going after Namielle, the water thunder dragon guy. Yeah, isn't that something? So, let's get started. You may notice I have a couple pieces of brand new equipment. So the first is a brand new insect glaive. That is the Glavenus Hildite, I believe. Yes. And let me say, it is by far one of the coolest looking weapons. Like, now there's not a whole bunch of like really cool looking insect glaives, but that's definitely one of them. It is very cool. It is very cool. The other is a brand new set of armor, because I need a brand new set of armor just to make, for one, visually it just looks a lot better, and two, that is in fact I believe, what's the name? Blackveil Valhazak armor. I fought him like only a couple days ago, and I can't even remember his name. Nice job, me. But yeah, this armor has a couple of advantages. One, it's got really good regeneration, which is always really nice. But two, it has very high water resistance, and okay thunder resistance. It's not amazing, in fact it's not even that good, but it is positive, so yeah, those are definitely two really good things to have, and it was basically the perfect set of armor to run Namielle with. And so actually there's going to be no cutscene here, and the reason is, he did kind of lock me in a corner and just combo me to death the first time I tried this, which means no cutscene. Sorry, that cutscene is pretty cool, but eh. What can you do? What can you do? But yeah, it's gonna take us a little bit of time for me to find all the tracks and have it point in the right direction. More Runer Nergigante bikes, and actually, big spoiler alert for anyone who's paying attention, but Runer Nergigante is up next, and I'm kind of scared. I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna be my first Master Rank level 6 monster. And from what I have heard, he's quite the challenge. But, you know, I think we'll do alright. He said. Yeah, and this is where, I believe this is where they finally start telling me where to go. Yeah, so I plop a pin in him to try and, you know, keep him located straight ahead. So Namielle. Interesting concept, sort of a deep sea underwater dragon sort of creature. I really like his colors. He's a very colorful dragon, which makes him really appealing to look at, and he's designed very well. You know, he's got lots of influences from like jellyfish, you know, squids, a bunch of other creatures like that. So from design standpoint, he's really cool, and spoiler, he has probably one of the better fights in the entire series. Like, he's very fun to fight. Yeah, you see me completely messing up the clutch claw counter. But yeah, he's very well telegraphed. You can pretty much always tell what he's going to do. And none of his attacks are ridiculous. That's like one of the better things about him. Do a ridiculous amount of damage. And so his main mechanic that you'll see here are his puddles. So he has a bunch of attacks that'll place those down, and he can manipulate them in a couple of different ways. He can create slides outward with his movements. He can create slides inward. He can suck the water back into himself, which he will do on occasion. And of course, prominently, he can electrify them in a couple of different ways, just by using his wings. I'll put in a couple of attacks that you might want to watch out for a bit more as the fight goes on and as I see them. So, what do you think about it? I won't say he's a difficult fight. He's definitely not. He's, I'd say, slightly more challenging than Blackveil Valhazak. That's about where I put him in terms of just overall difficulty. So, if you didn't have much trouble with Valhazak, you probably won't have too much trouble with Namielle. He's not like the most insane monster ever. So breakable parts, what are those? Well, his wings, forelegs, head, and tail are all breakable. Pretty similar to Blackveil, although his belly is not. So there you go. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, see, there he goes. He'll for full, his wings below him and electrify one puddle, but he can't actually jump from other puddles as well, so just be aware of that. What else is there? What else is there? He's got his signature attack, which I believe I ended up getting a pretty good look at. Here's where I actually am able to get him with the clutch claw. Oop. And yes, bonk it. That's some nice material for us. The other good thing about him is he doesn't have any like rare materials like the Volcan crystal. He just has the large Elder Dragon crystals large Elder Dragon wings that require armor. Although he does also require Erathian mantles and Uragon Pallium, so if you're looking to get his armor, just know there's some rare materials involved. Fortunately, I had all of them already, so for me, I only had to fight him a couple times before I was able to get everything for his armor. So we've done some fighting beforehand. His armor is actually not that difficult to get, and it's a really good set too. It has some pretty strong defenses and it's very high on defense. And I'm actually going to use it for the Rune Nergigante fight, and it also looks absolutely incredible. Oh, that's another attack you gotta watch out for. It's sort of, I'm gonna call it his wave, tsunami. It's sort of tsunami where he can like blast water downwards and builds a giant puddle everywhere, and also throws that water outward. So if you're in front of him, look out for it. But actually, that's another thing I should probably mention. The vast majority of its attacks actually come from in front of him. So I would recommend staying to the side or to behind him because yeah, his water armor is gone now. But a lot of his attacks will come from his head or from his forearms. Well, he does have a couple of other ones that don't really fit into that pattern nearly as much. You have to really watch out for. But in general, another tsunami attack. Stay out of the puddles. In addition, he's got two different he's got a few different water projectile attacks you want to look out for. He's got a water beam that he'll sweep back and forth in front of him. You've probably seen that one before already. He's got one that's a 90-degree turn. Yeah, there's the sweep. I mean, I can't remember what it's going to do. And when he rears up like that, be aware, he's not falling over. He's getting ready to do his electric attack. So he's got a couple of different electric attacks. Here he's doing, I think, a different one. He's going to go, he's going to slam his wing into the ground and electrify one part of the ground, and the electric attacks will still hurt even if he doesn't get onto. Yeah, there he goes, sucking in all the water again to get his water armor back. And electric attacks can still hurt even if you aren't standing in a puddle. You're going after the tail. That's another thing. Yeah, there's the 90-degree sweep. Another thing, the tail is a bit hard. It's a bit hard to tell where that tail is. Just be aware that. Because it sort of blends into the rest of his body, but it is still back there, and you can still sever it, but it's a bit hard to see. So I'd say probably wait until later on, like once he's knocked over or something, to try and go after the tail, because it's a bit. Yeah, there's you get a water splash he can do, and there's a couple other ones that he can like shoot little like pods of water, if you will. Oh yeah, there's a 90-degree. 90-degree gets me a lot, but fortunately I have both pretty strong regeneration and pretty strong water resistance in general, so he doesn't get. Even if he does hit me, he doesn't tend not to hurt too much. There's spraying water back and forth. What else about him? I really like the way his wings sort of move. They're very like squid-like almost, which is I think is a really cool touch. Because animation can really add a lot of character to certain monsters, and with Namielle, I think they really nailed that. So I believe that is. No, I thought that was his special, but it was. I know he does do his special eventually. I'm not sure if he does it in this area. Yeah. A lot of times when he rears up like that, a lot of people will think, oh, he's falling over, but no, he's about to do an electric slam. So just be aware. I don't think I've ever gotten him to fall over outside of a knockdown. So. Just be aware. I don't know if that's just me, just not really knowing how he works, or that's just generally something he just tends not to do. But either way, I did not ever get him to do that. So yeah, there he goes, sucking up his water again. There's me, failing at control again. But hey, what else is there? Yeah, and that 90-degree water turn can be really deceptive, so you really got to be careful about when he does that. He's got a couple other attacks that he can do when he's enraged, but I don't think we've seen quite yet. But I'll point them out when I show them. He's got a couple of really cool ones as well, so... He's just a cool monster. He's like Blackveil Valhazak. He's just cool. He's got a lot of cool attacks, and he's a cool guy with cool armor. It's just cool. He's one of my new favorite monsters of the series. He's really fun to fight. Ooh, I think this is yeah, this I don't actually get to see it there, but that is his special attack. He electrifies, or he runs some water out, and then he'll jump down and electrify a pretty large amount of the terrain. So just be aware, that attack, I was in the air for it, so it didn't do as much damage, but if you're on the ground, it does a lot. It does a lot. Let's just say that much. It has the damage. So, next area. So this is area 8, I believe. Pretty fun area to fight in. It's got a lot of planes, it's got some healing items, it's got some red pits and some other kind of cool areas, but not bad. Pretty good area. Actually, a really great area, but then he goes to area 10. This is one of the worst areas to fight in because not a lot of space. It's very vertically oriented, which isn't great for fighting monsters that have cover like a huge area. For something like Titsitsi Yaku or Halumo, it can be alright, but for something as big as Namielle, and especially, yeah, because I ended up trying to drag him down here because I'm not fighting him on that tiny little place up there, because that's just asking to die. And so he finally decides to come down, but yeah, you'll see me try, and the one thing it is kind of good for is, yeah, I completely missed there. And I think I fail a couple times here, so if you like to watch people fail, you'll get a kick out of this. So he just ends up galloping down the one place I didn't want him to gallop down, so that's always kind of fun. So I go for him again. Miss. And I grapple onto his leg, and I try to get to his head again, and I'm like, alright, go to a different place. And then finally managed to get him. So we get our next bonk off. Just gotta go to town on his head. None of his parts are particularly difficult to break. I'd say the easiest is probably his wings and tail. Maybe that's just me. Yeah, you see his wings are broken there. He gets real mad. He's a cool sounding monster too. They did a really good job sort of making him sound like a sort of like undersea creature. They did a great job with that. I really love how like the sound effects on him. They really just done a good job with this guy. Admittedly, they've done a good job with a lot of the Elder Dragons, but he's one of the better ones. Like, I'd say, like, I've seen a lot of people really give a lot of praise for his design, his overall aesthetic. So, yeah, he can do that with a wing thing, and he can swipe with his wings. He doesn't do it terribly often, but he can. So just be aware. That's something he can do. Heads up. But I've seen a lot of the community really praise his design and his overall aesthetic. He's just a really well-designed, well-put-together monster, and I think there's definitely a reason he's become sort of a fan favorite in recent. I think he's a bit of a fan favorite. I don't have that much of a good finger on the pulse of the community. I sort of have a general idea of what monster people tend to like and tend to don't like, or tend to dislike, but from what I've seen, the impression I tend to get is that Namielle is quite popular, or at least he's quite well liked, and I can see that because I like him too. He's a cool guy. Alright, moving out of Area 10, which is one of the worst areas, into a somewhat better area. That's going to be, I think, Area 12 up next. Sort of the slanty area, which, it can be a bit interesting, depending on, how you orient yourself, but we'll see what happens up here. Alright, here we go. Yeah, he ends up staying in this area for a very long time, and I sort of have to play a bit differently in order to accommodate for that, and you'll see why. So, start off with... So I end up... what else? So I fought him again after this, so I'm running over the first one counter. I think I end up getting him here. Yeah. I get one more bonk off. Go for his head again, just because why not? I fought him again, and well, this fight's gonna last like 27 minutes ish. The next one I did lasted only like 21 minutes, admittedly because Savage Devil Joe sort of came in and started whacking at people. And I actually fought Savage Devil Joe like right after doing my second Namielle fight, and I was like, holy crap. Namielle is just way better designed. He's like, I remember I fought Devil Joe, just annoyed the piss out of me, but this guy was like, he's really great. He's just way better designed. Maybe that's my personal bias or just my choice of weapon edging in hard here, but I really think that Namielle is just a way better designed fight than Savage Devil Joe overall. I enjoyed his fight way more. So yeah, what happens here is I end up dropping my stamina bar down when normally what I would do is just try and eat, but this guy's not really giving me a chance, and I figured, I probably don't want to try and eat with this guy, you know, rampaging around, so I'm like, alright, let's not do that. Let's just not do that. He gets me pretty hard with an attack there. But fortunately, he can't really combo you unless he gets his stun off, which is why I brought a Steadfast Jewel in my kit, just to try and prevent that from happening. And just wasting. Yeah, he's got that he's got the water laser that he'll draw along the ground, and it can effectively sort of. It creates these sort of water upsurges where it lands. I haven't ever been hit by it, so I don't know how damaging it is, but I'd probably recommend not getting hit by it, because it seems like it would do a fair amount of damage. I can't confirm that, obviously. Yeah, there we go. He's doing the laser again. I believe it's... I don't know how many hits. I think it might be 3. Like, a sweep, and then a straight forward, but I can't really tell. I've never really paid attention very hard to it, so... I was more concerned about trying to not get hit by it than seeing how cool it looked. Although admittedly, it does look pretty cool. Props to the designers for this guy, again, because they did a really good job. And props to the coders as well, and like the animators are just making him look really cool. Move very coolly. Yeah, there he goes, electrifying his body, and he just looks so cool when he gets all electrified, and when he has his water armor on, so... I really love how like he sort of has these different sort of armors and modes really all play together to make one really well-designed package. This is just turning into me sort of praising Namielle over and over again, just being a really cool and good monster. But hey, I mean, I am, yeah, you'll see me end up going for the tail a lot more here. I actually get it off kind of soon, but not immediately, but pretty soon. Kind of shoves me around there, albeit unintentionally. Yeah, you can see him throwing out his water bubbles there, and I completely miss. I believe this is where I end up getting it off. Pretty close to here. No, that may have been my other playthrough. Actually, I'm mixing up this run with my other run, so sorry about that, but just being stupid again, so what's new? Alright, so I'm just trying to pick up the buffs. His head's the hardest one to get because it's constantly moving around as he like breathes water and stuff, so the other two actually aren't that difficult to grab, but his head is like really quite challenging to try and pick up because of just how much his head moves again. Yeah, that 90-degree water attack, if you don't have good water resistance, it can really mess you up pretty quickly, and I end up getting another bonk off here. Although, actually, no, he doesn't. No, I don't, because he just barely gets out of the way before I'm able to get it off. That did kind of annoy me. Here I'm actually looking to try and heal a bit, because he's done some decent damage, and I actually ended up breaking his head right there with the water, with like the stones. Which I didn't even know was a thing you could do. But hey, you learn something new every day. That's what happens when you get caught in the water. It sort of just drags you around, and you can really sort of, yeah, get sort of. It's not a stun technically, but it's about as good as one, and he can do it pretty consistently. So that's definitely something to watch out for. Other thing is that he does have some bodies, does have some harder parts. I know he looks like a big, soft, fleshy fish guy, but he does have some hard armored parts. So just be warned. You can't just wail on him wherever you like and expect to get some orange numbers coming up. I believe that I'm close to where I get his tail off. I can't remember exactly when it happened, but he ends up staying in this area for a lot longer than I think even I anticipated. So we're gonna be here for a while, but that's not a bad area to fight in. So I'm not too unhappy about. I'm not like concerned about moving him. Or just trying to let him go. But here's where I start focusing more on his tail, because, you know, his head's broken. That's like the one big one I'm really worried about. Getting, and well, tail is the other one. Tail break and tail sever and head break are usually the two I'm most concerned with getting out. Here's where he does his supernova. He goes cracking down. Damn, that looks just cool. That is probably one. Yeah, this is where I go for another clutch claw counter, and I actually get it. I believe this is successful. Yeah, nope. He just barely missed the wall. That's one of the worst feelings in any monster in world right now, where you get the clutch, they're exhausted, you get the clutch counter, and you're like, yes, and they just barely don't clip the wall enough, and you're just like, yeah, there's the sort of the water laser, as I like to call it, but that's a really cool attack as well. And this is where I get his tail off. It's really just like, it's just one tiny bit, because his head and his wings and his tail all sort of melded together into one sort of continuous, I don't know what to call them, body part, if you will. But yeah, we grab up his tail, and then we head for the top, because his nest is all the way up at the very, very tippy top of the Coral Highlands. One of the cooler areas in the Coral Highlands, I think. It's a really nice atmospheric place as you sort of climb through the clouds up to, you know, this faraway place. It's a really cool area. And probably should have gone up the ladder and then eaten, but hey, what are you gonna do? Alright, so yeah, clamber on up here and take the wedge beetle elevator up to the top. So this area is really annoying to try and navigate, although once you get really good at getting those wedge beetles, you feel so cool just sort of swinging from beetle to beetle. And I completely miss the vines and just plop onto the corner there. Yeah, but whatever. So we clamber up to the top here, all the way up. And he's actually not quite asleep yet. I'm like, so I just like, alright, whatever, I'll just fight him up here and, you know, we'll deal with it as it happens. And so, trying to get the buffs up, and so he's just sort of doing his sort of wing thing. So I grab the buffs, just go. At this point, I'm just going for his, yeah, he gets me pretty good there, because I wasn't really paying. So I'm going for his legs, for his forelegs here, because I figure, you know, that's like the best, probably the best. Yeah, I get the leg break there. That's all of his parts broken. So I'm like, all right, he's got to be pretty. We're probably decently close to him being dead, because, you know, all his parts are broken. And then he gets a stun off, and then. Yeah, this is where things start to go not so well for me. It's a lot of really good attacks off one after the other. Diving there to try and avoid the water blast. He does another water shake. So he ends up go into limping state soon-ish. And then yeah, that completely messed up. I don't know why I was going backwards to the board there. I don't know why that would happen. That's kind of but whatever. So I'm just focusing back at the stuff under me. I can't really do anything with me back here if I just look around and don't stay in front of his mouth and his head where damage comes from. Although again, that 90-degree turn really can mess you up if you're not careful. So yeah, he's sucking all the water back into him here. And just roll away and start refreshing my buffs again. Yeah, again, that rear back's really deceptive. You always think, oh, he's about to fall over. He's just not. He's got his water armor and his electrified, which damn, he loves doing that. So I just keep going at him, trying to whittle him down. And he just doesn't give up, and he won't give up for a little while longer because, you know, yeah, there's that avalanche again. And more like wave, I guess. I'm not really sure what to call it. So just wailing on him a bit more, wailing on him a bit more. And eventually he will go into limping state. Something kind of weird will happen. But yeah, he ends up getting me with his wing there, which I don't remember seeing that attack anywhere else. But I don't really know how that works. But yeah, again, something probably. So I end up dodging around here. He's doing multiple sort of wing electric stabs, which he can do when he's enraged, as you can see down there. And now he goes into limping state, and so he decides to... He's going to run away here pretty shortly. And something kind of weird will happen. So I just start wailing on him, thinking, alright, he's close to dead. Let's go and get him down. But he's not going to go down for just a little bit more longer. Going bam, getting him real hard there. And then he does another big sort of signature attack, and I end up kind of avoiding it in the air, which is one of the advantages of the Insect Glaive. You don't really have to avoid that attack. So IG, very good against him, because a lot of his attacks are on the ground. It's just... That may be part of why I enjoyed him so much, because my weapon just makes him a bit easier. But yeah, he ends up coming back up to try and sleep here after going down there, so I'm like, alright, what I'm just going to do is I'm going to come down this cliff a little bit, and I'll just wait for him to go to sleep, and when he does, I'll go back up there and sleep bomb him, which, you know, that gives me a pretty good advantage. That's a lot of damage I don't have to do to him. So I end up going down pretty far down the cliff, although I probably didn't need to, and I'm like, alright, gonna be asleep now, let's go back up. So we climb all the way back up the cliff. All the way back up, and turns out, yeah, I was right, he is now asleep. Which means we can sleep bomb him, and that means that we don't have to... We can just sleep bomb him, and then should be pretty close to dead after this. So we go Temporal Mantle, bam. Probably should have waited for my cat to place down those Meowlicobs, but whatever. So I just start wailing on him, like, alright, he's gonna be pretty dead soon. What happens here is he exhausts himself, I get a nice Clutch Claw counter off, that's another big pile of damage to his head, and so we grab ourselves a red buff again, and we just go at him. Just go at him, and he's dead. And the entire game freezes there a bit there, but... it's all good, it's all good. And we can carve him up, and that is the run. That's him dead. What do I think overall? Really fun. He's a really fun monster, especially with the Insect Glaive. He's very well telegraphed. He's, you know, he's got a lot of cool and interesting moves. I like how his moveset sort of all combos together very well. Where he's like, he has a bunch of attacks that sort of create the puddles, and he has a bunch of attacks that interact with the puddles. His thunder attacks interact with the puddles, and they destroy the puddles so he can create new puddles. It's really... He's a really well put together monster where all of his attacks sort of combo off this central concept of the puddles. And you can see they kind of act weird when they interact with non-flat terrain there, but whatever, man. But yeah, he's really well designed just in terms of his concept, in terms of the moveset, his animation, just his armor is really cool as well. So just overall, a monster I would absolutely recommend everyone fight. He's a lot of fun to fight. You won't regret it. He's just great. Ooh, okay. I guess that means we're about at the end. So, I suppose this is the part where I ask you to like and subscribe, because new channel still coming up, and it really helps me out. And, you know, hit the notification bell if you really feel like it, but other than that, that's going to be it for me. So, thank you very much for watching, and peace out.